Hello, everyone. Here we are. Welcome back, alive and well. How's everyone been doing? Alive? Oh, that's great. I'm also alive. Who's been doing their meditation? You've been banging off an hour, banging off 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds? Who knows? But hopefully you've been doing something. Hopefully you've been embracing embracing this idea of getting outside of your comfort zone, leaning into resistance. Because in fact, this is how it works. This is how your life works. You get uncomfortable so that you can be comfortable. Isn't that paradoxical? You lean into being uncomfortable now, and then later you will actually feel more comfortable because you have taken the time to expand your comfort zone. So you do things that are a little tiny bit uncomfortable and you actually feel more comfortable over time. It's like Conor McGregor says, I do what's uncomfortable now so I can feel more comfortable later. You understand? So when we do meditation or any type of leaning into resistance activity, we're always trying to do what's difficult. What's up, Alexis Bella? How are you doing, girl? Nice. Thank you for coming on. So we always try to do whatever we feel the resistance, we are constantly leaning into that resistance. Oh my God, that's what we're doing, right? That's what produces an actual authentic person. That's what creates an actual authentic experience, and that's where all like your passions and your dreams and your happiness and all that type of shit is. That's what happens. Thanks, girl. Thanks for coming on. Um, that's what happens. That's what we do. Okay? That's how it works. So, what, people who are like constantly unhappy and they're constantly like apathetic and all this type of shit, maybe they fundamentally don't understand that you actually go into that shit. It's like, oh, I'm feeling sad. Okay, great. Then you're feeling sad. Like, oh, it hurts. Okay, great. Then it hurts. It's like someone who goes in the gym and you're like, okay, let's do some pull-ups. And they're like, I can't. You're like, well, why not? Well, it's uncomfortable. Well, it's hard. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking point. That's the fucking point. Of course it's hard, right? Eagles, boy. Oh, what's up, Jero? I noticed. Yeah, you changed your name. How's it going, man? So that's the point. If we want to go in the gym and do the push-ups or the pull-ups or whatever it is, and what's up, brother? Or we'll go with even bench press because my man Jero's here. I know how he likes the bench press. Whatever you're going to do, it's like you can sit around all day long and be like, well, it's hard. Well, it's hard to do fucking bench press. Well, it's hard to do pull-ups. But that's the fucking point. That's why you get results. That's why you get resistance. So if people say to me like, oh man, Luke, wow, how did you get into meditation? How did you learn how to do that? It's like, motherfucker, I just did it consistently, even though it was difficult, even though I didn't understand really what was going on or how to do it. I just always used the principle of, like, for example, in meditation, in the same in the gym, like, I just always did what was most difficult. Like in the gym, I'm just always fucking bench pressing more. Like, why wouldn't I just do more? Like harder sets. Mind you, lately, nowadays, I've changed my routine a little bit because I want to incorporate more like stretching and stuff, but that's a different topic. But say it's even the same with meditation. I just constantly went into the meditation. So any like, say there was like deep, like subconscious like thoughts that were like, oh fuck, like, oh man, I feel bad about this like one time when I was like, you know what I mean, like 12 years old and like, oh, like I didn't win like a soccer game or something. And like somehow that like thought's like still inside my fucking brain after like 20 years. And it's like, shit, why didn't I score a goal on one soccer game? I should have scored a goal. It's like somehow I'm still carrying that around. So say if I go into the meditation, I'm like sitting there, I'm like trying to embrace that thought, right? I'm trying to embrace that like feeling and thought that's in there that's like, you should have scored the goal, blah, blah, blah. The team could have won, all this stuff. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm still carrying this around with me. So in the same way I do bench press, in the same way I do pull-ups, I go into the fucking thoughts. I'm like, what thought? What the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Really? Like, let me see what else is here. And if you bring like the awareness to it, right? Like if you bring awareness to that thought and you just like breathe in, like you breathe in and you just like allow, you start to see that there is some, oh, what's up, half man, half, yeah, I've been liking your shit, man. You've got some really quality videos and shit on your Instagram, so I appreciate what you're doing there, my man. So, are you British, by the way? I thought I caught a British accent on you. So the point is we keep breathing into that. And so when you're in the meditation and you have these, say, thoughts come up, whatever it might be in your life, you know, who knows? Like, say, if it's like, oh, fuck, I wasn't smart enough, or like, oh, I wasn't like popular in school or whatever, you just kind of allow those things to come. And you're like, oh, wow, look at these thoughts. But we understand that we are, in fact, as Eckhart Tolle says, the awareness, right, that is aware. You see? So there's a small space there. So it's like there are these thoughts that are like, fuck, I didn't make the soccer team, or I could have scored a goal, or I'm not cool enough, I'm stupid, blah, blah, blah. But there's something that's being aware of that, right? There's like a consciousness that's witnessing that shit. And that's where you can start to like get some real like consciousness and like awakening and like peace and presence and strength, motherfucker, also like strength and power and shit. So this isn't just about like being woo woo. This is about also being hardcore, motherfucker, kick in the door. Like, let's get some money, let's get success. What's up? Um, um, oh man, my friend giving excellent commentary down here. Excellent commentary. I actually forget even how do we even get that started. I forget where that even come from. But you threw me off my fucking train of thought. Um, the point is that we try to grow this awareness, right? We try to like enhance this so that we can understand there is this separation. So there is this separation. Like, it isn't, you're not just imprisoned by these constant fucked up thoughts of like whatever it might be. Like, I didn't make the soccer team, blah, blah, blah. I can't work out, da, da, da. Never get a cool girlfriend, never get a cool boyfriend, whatever you want. And you realize like, oh, I'm actually just experiencing these things. I'm just like experiencing these kind of thoughts that are coming through. And that's what I am constantly trying to delve into. And you can even get crazier with it. Like, you can even get into like kind of like almost imagery in your mind and like the feelings and like the energy patterns and shit if you want to get deep, which I recommend you do. So there is like all this type of stuff. Um, do I have change for a quarter? Huh. I mean, I probably could find change. Yes, in fact. But I mean, for example, even if you want to get way back, like when we used to work out like back in the day, this is like probably like 10 years ago now, realistically, because I started working out in the gym back in the day, Dro and I and a couple other people way back when I was 18. So you must have been like whatever, like 17 or something. And it was like when I first started working out, it was just like I was just like full steam ahead. Like, I couldn't believe that you could literally just go into a gym and like lift weights and then your muscles would get bigger. Like, to me, it was like mind blowing. I was like, oh my God, like you can actually do this? Like, I just gonna be here all the time. And I would. And like, I would go there like every single day. I would stay at the gym for like 2 hours, like, or longer sometimes. So I would compare, truly, I would compare like my experience with like meditation or self-reflection or like learning about this type of like the way or self-development. I would compare it in my life as like a similar shift to when I first discovered the gym. Was like a similar way that it's like you can just go in the gym and do pull-ups and grow your muscles and get better and get stronger. In the same way, you can grow your like intellectual, like spiritual, like emotional, fucking consciousness muscles. And once I started realizing that, I was like, oh my fuck, yes. And they're connected, right? Like the physical muscles are connected with those other like spiritual, mental, emotional muscles and shit. And in fact, I would argue, and I think a lot of people do, I've talked about this before, like Kobe Bryant, like fucking Michael Jordan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like all these great, great, legendary people. Most of them really say, like, the real battle is like a battle inside. Like, the real strength and the real success comes from like mental focus, emotional, spiritual focus. And you can transfer that into like your muscle gain and shit like that. Just look at Dorian Yates. I don't know. He was like the Mr. Olympia after Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And like he was called Dorian Yates the Shadow because he would just go down into this gym for like all year and just get jacked and then come out with like these massive muscles. If you don't know who Dorian Yates is, Dro, if you don't know Dorian Yates, just Google him and like check out a couple pictures of him. He was massive back in the day, back in the 90s. I think it was like in the late 90s. And then after him, I guess it was Ronnie Coleman who became like Mr. Olympia. But anyway, now he once he got into meditation, he started smoking weed. This guy started smoking weed when he was like 50. Never even like tried this stuff before. All of a sudden, he got turned on to smoking weed. Just changed his whole perspective. Started meditating every day. Started doing yoga every day. Now he doesn't even lift weights. He's like, I'm not fucking lifting weights. So he did fuck that. Like he doesn't even bother. He's still in good shape and like he still trains. He still actually trains guys. But the point is, he came to realize this deeper level truth, and he was like, oh my god, this is where the success is. And I was even saying this the other day. Like sometimes you see guys and they have like a certain kind of muscle to them, like a certain kind of like pump. Like I'll see if you can see it. I don't know if I can really do it, but they almost have this. No, I can't. You can't really see it on the Instagram, but maybe on the YouTube. But they have this like little pump going, but it's like you can tell that it's just like a swollen pump, and a lot. It's I think a lot of it is like chemicals and shit in there, drugs and juice and stuff, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But somehow these guys, the bigger they get, unfortunately, the smaller they look when you come from this perspective because you start to see how it's just exponentially it's just magnifying whatever issue they already have. So they're like trying to get more. And you've seen these guys like lots. Hate to pick on them, but sometimes they're short guys. Sometimes they're just like dudes who were like not very popular or whatever, and they just keep getting more jacked. They just keep getting more and more and more fucking jacked. And it's like you see them and you're like, dude, you look fucked up. Like you look weird. Like not hating on getting jacked because I love it. Fucking yes, you should definitely be doing it. But the point is just that you want to try and build this balance. You want to try and see. You want to more than anything create strength from within. That's where the real power comes from. And then you can manifest that as muscles and shit. And then it's awesome. Right? So I guess that's part of what I'm trying to portray here is like, let's try to like bridge the gap between like spiritual shit and like meditation and then doing pull-ups and fucking deadlifts and stuff. Because that's where all the cool shit is, right? Like it's bridging the gap. It's doing both. So, so yeah, I think overall, we're bringing this like kind of hardcore mentality and success mentality. Like we're looking to win. Like I want to find massive success. It's like if you're not doing this kind of thing, I don't know what you're doing. Like you're doing something different than what I'm doing. Like if you're not about constantly trying to get better, and if you're not like fired up and going in the gym and pumping weights or doing your meditation or having like massive success with like your relationships or your finances or your career or whatever it is, or you're not trying to, it's like you just need to constantly be trying abandon bullshit, abandon stupid ways of thinking, stupid fucking worthless ways of behaving, abandon that and get engaged with better ones. And just keep doing this, and then you'll become more and more in alignment with other people who are doing that, and you'll just get better and better. And the people who aren't doing that, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're probably doing pills. Okay, good, have fun. Just let them, right? So that's pretty much what's happening. There you go. That was like a quick sesh. Trying to do these like sometimes these like shorter sessions, so that I don't feel so like pressured. Like I gotta do a fucking half an hour every day. No, I'm just gonna bang off a couple of sessions here and there, and you get the idea. So like 4 fucking people can watch a video, and maybe one of them will get some change out of their life, and then maybe in 10 or 20 years there'll be more, and they can all send me $1, and then I'll be rich, and I can just you know what I mean? Do my own shit and do push-ups and fucking sit-ups. Not so much sit-ups, though I did do a little bit of abs today. I did deadlifts today. Fuck yes. Deadlifts. I can't believe I didn't even know about deadlifts. Back in the day, I didn't even ever do deadlifts or squats back in the day. It was insane. I just would do chest. I would do chest like multiple times a week. I would do like biceps like 3 times a week, but I never did deadlifts and squats. It was so insane. Never stretched. Now I stretch every day. Can you believe that? I stretch every day and I get on the ball, like that yoga ball every day. Do deadlifts once a week, squats once a week, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Okay, so that's it for today. That's all we're going to do. Thank you for everybody for coming in here. Thank you, Jerome, for showing up and making some glorious comments. Thank you for everyone checking it out on YouTube. Keep your shit going. All right, everybody. Peace out.